The Criminal Investigative Division is responsible for a wide variety of tasks and things that have to be done on a daily basis.
They are there for follow-ups. They're the ones that takes the patrol reports and goes, especially with the major crimes. They take the responsibility of making sure this case is processed and ready for court.
The initial report is taken by usually a uniformed deputy for whatever the crime or situation is that the citizen is reporting. And from that point on, electronically, the reports are forwarded to the Criminal Investigative Division, and they're dispersed out to the proper units to follow up on the investigations. And those units are comprised of property crimes, juvenile investigations, person crimes investigations, fraud, white-collar investigations, and depending on what type of issue or crime it is, once it's reviewed, the actual initial report's reviewed by a supervisor, then it's properly assigned to one of those units. We also have a sex offense registry unit in the Criminal Investigative Division that's responsible for making sure that all the sex offenders in Wake County are properly registered and a proper database is kept on those individuals, and that they are properly monitored, sometimes on a daily basis, sometimes a weekly basis. But they're challenged by statute to follow up with these individuals to make sure that they are properly registered, that their addresses are correct, and if they're not and they're in violation, we have staff that's actually responsible for following through to the point of arrest, where the person could be charged with a violation of not being properly registered and taken to court. School Resource Officer program is comprised, as I stated earlier, of a lieutenant, 2 sergeants, and actually 23 deputies.
Most of those are in middle schools. We have 2 officers in high schools, but most of the high schools are inside the city limits, so we do the middle schools.
They're in a high visibility positions within these schools. First and foremost, their primary function is they are a law enforcement officer. They're there for law enforcement if needed. Also, they're there to establish rapport and conversations with these students and the faculty, and they're there to try to make sure that this is a safe learning environment for these kids. We have an adventure camp program that the school resource officers run solely by themselves, and we run two-week camps every summer.
And it's something that the parents come back and say, hey, it's great, keep it up. The people that come to the camp, they start off like, I don't know whether I'm gonna like this or not, but when we go on graduation day, they're excited about it. Can we come back? So we think it's really helping. What we're trying to do is project an image out to these young men and women what law enforcement really does. We're there to help. We're not there just to put you in jail or give you a ticket.
We also take them to fire department training so they can see what the fire department's about. We take them to the highway patrol so they can see what the highway patrol is about. So for 2 weeks, two-week camps a year, we take on at least, I think it's 60 kids in each camp. So we can try to advance these kids into a different path than what they may be taking if they were staying at home unattended.